So let's say we have a point. And the point is, we'll call it x1 comma y1. And we're going to have a slope. And we're going to call the slope m. Well, if I want to write the equation of a line, Friday we learned that one way to write the equation of a line when you have these two items or two pieces of information is point-slope form. And point-slope form looks like this: y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Okay. Think of form kind of like a formula, okay? It tells you where to put numbers and how to work with them, okay? So at this point, you should be writing this down. And so the first three equations we're going to deal with are going to be the following. We're going to write an equation in point-slope form. Given a point and a slope. Okay, so go ahead and write that down. Write an equation in point-slope form given a point and a slope. So I'm going to start off with that point and the slope from example 1 in our delta math, okay? So in the delta assignment, example number 1 says the point is negative 9 comma 20, and the slope is, I believe, negative 1. Okay, so go ahead and write those down. Negative 9 comma 20 is the point we're going to work with, and the slope is negative 1. And what we want to do is write the equation of a line in point-slope form. So we basically have everything we need. We need a point, and we have the following. We have an x1 and a y1 right here. We need a slope, and there it is. This is the value for m. Okay? So everything we need is there. So we're going to start it off like this. We're going to rewrite this equation, this form, but we're going to leave blanks where y1, m, and x1 are. In other words, we're going to write it like this: y minus, leave it blank, leave a space there. After the equal sign, leave a space, parentheses x, minus sign, and then leave a space, and then close the parentheses. So space here, space there, space there. We're going to fill in those spaces with some numbers. Okay? So here and here is where these numbers will go. Okay? Here is where these numbers will go. Okay? So let's plug them in. You guys ready? I just want to show you how easy this is. So from our formula, what goes here? Can someone tell me what goes here?
20.
Oh, okay, you're already giving me a number. I like that. It's 20 because it's y1. Excellent. So we're looking for y1, and that's 20. Does everyone see that? 20 should go there. You're just following the formula. Okay, so let's just go right to the numbers. What number should go here? -9. Now I want you to think. If I put a negative, I got a minus and then a negative. That's a double negative. What does a double negative make? A positive. So when it's a negative here, put it in as +9 here. Okay? So it's kind of like what we were doing when we were graphing these Friday. You take the opposite. If it's negative here, it goes as a plus. If it's a positive here, it goes as a minus. Okay? Now the only thing left to do is write in the slope. What's the slope? -1. Write it in. So this is my equation. Y minus 20 equals -1 parentheses x minus +9. Okay? So what we're going to do is let's hop over to delta and let's put this answer in. So we've got an answer now. So this is the form of the equation we want to enter in for example 1 and delta. So let's go back, jump over there, and let's do that. So we're going to type in y minus 20 equals -1 parentheses x plus 9 close parentheses. That's the equation in point slope form that we want. Okay, go ahead and type it in and submit it. And fingers crossed, that's what we get. Okay, any questions? So for these, you literally read the numbers and put them into point slope form. Okay, any questions? Because I'd like to go on to example number 2. All right, so let's move on to example number 2. So for example number 2, they give us this point and this slope, -15, 3 and 7/11. Okay, so let's go back to our notes and let's write that in. Number 2. So it's -15, 3, -15, 3, and the slope is 7/11. Okay, so now we're going to go a little quicker because we did one already. I'm still going to just leave those blank spaces. Okay, but now we kind of know what we're looking for. This is x1, y1, and this is m, the slope. Okay, all right guys, so let's enter in the equation here for this one. So what number would go here? 3. And the slope would be here, 7/11. And then here would be +15, so +15. See how easy that is? So we got y minus 3 equals 7/11 parentheses x plus 15. Okay, let's go on to delta. And let's enter that in for that question. Y minus 3 equals 7/11. And then make sure you press the right arrow to move the cursor over x. I'm sorry, not x. Parentheses x plus 15. So there's the equation. And let's submit that. And there it is. Okay. Okay, we'll do the third one of these. And this time they give us a point of -16, comma, -4, and the slope is going to be 2. So we're going to go back to the notes and write that in. Number 3. And so it's -16, comma, -4, and the slope is 2. And let's set this up so we can put in our equation. Okay. So we got an x1, we got a y1, and a slope. So let's enter in our numbers. This will become y, and then what comes after the y? Positive 4 plus 4 then. Equals 2. And then parentheses x. +16. So I'll put +16. There you go. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this one. We'll go to delta and put it in. Y plus 4 equals 2 parentheses x plus 16. Okay, there it is. Let's try it out. And there. Okay, for this one, don't go to next selection, just go to back. After you're done with that third example, go to back. Because now the fourth item here is 8 problems just like that. I'll leave you to do that after the notes. What I want to do is go to the first example, example number 1, for the second set of problems we're going to do. For these, you're going to be given 2 points, and we have to write it in slope-intercept, in point-slope rather. Okay, so I'm clicking on example 1 of these. So for this one, it's the same situation, except they're giving you the 2 points that pass through there. 4, 7, 4, 7, and 8, 6. Okay, so this one's going to be a little different. So I'm going to go back to the notes. I'm going to first box in my answers so we know that these are the final answers. All right. So the next 3 examples we're going to do are the following. Write an equation in point slope form given 2 points. This is going to be a little tougher because the easiest situation is the ones we just did, where they give you a point and a slope, okay? So for these, they're giving us 2 points. So example number 1, in fact, gives us these points. 4, 7, and the other one was 8, 6. All right. So these are the points that we're given. So we got x1, y1. But since we got a second pair, let's call this x2, y2. All right. So I want you to think now. Help me out. we have 2 points. We would like to have what we had before, a point and a slope. But we don't have that. We got 2 points. What is it that we need? We need a slope, right? Is there a way of getting a slope? Yeah. Remember that fraction formula? The slope formula? Kind of that rise over run formula. If you were thinking that, you're on the right track. Definitely we have to use the slope formula. So what we're going to use is the slope formula. Okay. And the slope formula is the following. M equals, we'll just write it down once to have it here. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Basically the difference in Y values over the difference in X values. Okay? So let's go ahead and plug those numbers in. We've done this before, so hopefully it's getting easier for all of us. So remember, we usually take that second ordered pair, turn the numbers. In this case, 6 is on top, 8 is on the bottom, and then just write them here. And then I take the first ordered pair, turn them counterclockwise, 90 degrees. 7's on top, and 4 is on the bottom. And this is what I'm going to get. So let's see what that gives us. 6 minus 7, negative 1. 8 minus 4 is 4. So my slope is negative 1/4. Okay? So let's go with that. But now we got another situation. We got 2 ordered pairs, right? We got 4, 7 or 8, 6. Which one should I use? Is one of them the one we should use and one of them we shouldn't? We could use that one. Or we could use the other one. So we're going to do something a little different. We're only going to do it once. So we're going to use this one first with that slope. So if I use that one, if I use this one here, okay, I want you to try this. Let's plug in this point and that slope. That would be y minus, which number? Y minus 7 equals negative 1/4 parentheses x minus 4. Okay? So this is the answer I get using this point. Or, I'll color code this in green. What if I use this as my x1, y1? I could use those points. That one would be different, right? If I use that one, it's going to be y minus 6 equals negative 1/4 x minus 8.
So basically with this one, you can go with either one.
You can go with either one. That's my point. So just to prove that point, now we're ready to enter this in. And you'll see why tomorrow, because when we start converting these into slope intercept tomorrow, it won't matter how you start, which point you use. You'll still get the correct answer in the end. Okay, so let's do this. If you are in either one of these 2 rows, this row or this row, on Delta Math, I want you to use the equation in green. Enter in that equation. If you're in this row or this row, I want you to enter in the equation in blue. Okay? And hopefully we wrote them correctly so that they will work. Okay, so let's go to delta. Since I'm on the green side, I will enter in that one in green. Okay, so over here, I'm going to put in y minus 6 equals negative 1/4, negative 1/4. Move the cursor to the right, parentheses, x minus 8. Oh, that's the green equation I had in green. I'm going to go ahead and enter in that one. And those of you that are on the other side of the room, use the one in blue that I had. But either way, it should tell you that you're right. Okay? So there's the equation. If you still need them, make sure you have it in your notes. So we're going to do 2 more. Okay. So example number 2, they want us to use these points. 6, negative 1, and negative 7, negative 8. All right? Yes. Make it super quick. Okay. So let's see here. x1, y1, x2, y2. And we're finding the slope. We're not going to rewrite the equation, the formula. We're just going to use it. So let's see here. This would be negative 8, negative 7. I'm going to use parentheses since it's, don't want to confuse it with a subtraction because I want negative 1 and 6. Okay. All right. In this situation, do you notice I'm subtracting and I have negatives in the numerator and denominator? It's confusing to me when I have to subtract with negatives. So I'm going to rewrite these problems as addition doing keep change opposite. Okay, so do keep it as negative 8, change it to a plus sign, and the opposite of negative 1 is positive 1. So I write it that way. I'm going to do the same thing in the denominator. Keep it as negative 7, change it to addition, and the opposite of 6 is negative 6. Okay, so let's see what that gives us. I get negative 7 over negative 13. I got negative 7 over negative 13. What's the problem there? If I enter in negative 7 over negative 13 as my slope, it would tell me I made a mistake. What's my mistake if I enter it in that way? Yes. 2 negatives. Negative divided by negative is a positive, of course. So we'll simplify that to 7/13. All right, so now we're ready to work with this. And since we learned that either one of those works, I'm just going to use this first equation. I'm going to use 6, negative 1 to plug in. Okay, so you guys ready? I'm going to use this point and that slope. Here we go. Y, will it be plus 1 or minus 1? Plus 1. Equals, my slope is 7/13. 7 over 13, parentheses, x minus 6 or plus 6? Minus 6. See how easy that is now? And this is my answer. So let's go to delta and put in this equation. Y plus 1 equals 7/13, parentheses, x minus 6. Okay. So let's do it. Over here, this is example number 2. Y plus 1 equals 7/13, parentheses, x take away 6. That is the equation I want to submit. Should look like this. Okay, so let's submit it. And there it is. Okay, we got one last to do. You guys ready? So this is going to be the last one. We got the points -8, -1, and -2, 9. So let's go back to delta. I'm sorry, to the notes. And number 3. This is going to be -8, -1, and -2, 9. Okay. We'll start off with the slope. M equals, we'll put 9 over -2, -1. Notice I put parentheses around the -1. Over -8, I'll put parentheses here as well. Again, very confusing with subtraction and negatives. I'm just going to rewrite this as addition. Keep change opposite. So that becomes 9 plus +1, -2 plus 8. So that would be 10. And -2 plus 8 is 6. Now 10/6 is an improper fraction that I can reduce. What's 10/6 after I divide 2? What am I going to get?
Wait, it's positive 6?
Yeah, because the bigger number is positive. It's +8 and -2. So this becomes 5/3. Okay, just go ahead and leave that there. So we get 5/3 as a fraction. Five-thirds. Let's use that. And again, it doesn't matter which one, so I'm just kind of sticking with that one again. I'm going to enter in -1, -8, -1 for the x1, y1. So here we go. Y plus 1 equals 5/3, parentheses, x plus 8. So that's the equation that I'll enter. So let's try that one. Y plus 1 equals 5/3, parentheses, x plus 8. Let's see. Five over 3, parentheses, x plus 8. Let's see. Yay. Okay. So you'll have 8 to do just like that one. But that's the notes, guys. Basically, we're writing equations in point slope form now.